the essence of Porsche in a single car. This is the most extreme, most exciting GT3 that we have ever developed. The car has 510 horsepower, and that's a lot for a 1435 kilo car. It's the same engine we use in the Cup car, with all the tech from a race car engine, like individual throttle bodies, dry sump lubrication, titanium parts in the engine. We have a complete new suspension, a double wishbone front axle for the first time. Bigger wheels, bigger brakes, wider rims. Go out for a drive, take the car an hour on the racetrack, or go in the countryside, and you will come back and you understand everything about Porsche.
We worked especially on the efficiency. Pre-development saw well over 700 simulations before it was fine-tuned in over 160 hours in the wind tunnel. The new 911 GT3 achieves 50% more downforce than the predecessor in its delivery settings. The high downforce setting allowed us to generate 150% more downforce than on the predecessor model. For the first time, these cars are coming with an adjustable front diffuser. Its 4 different settings can regulate downforce at the front. This continues at the rear. Here we have a fully closed rear diffuser, which generates more than 60 kilograms in downforce at top speed. This time the rear wing is suspended from above. The wing's upper surface is the pressure side that is significantly less susceptible to disturbances. The wing's underside is its suction side and reacts delicately to disturbance patterns. Not only the components, but also the development methods are very much alike those of motorsport vehicles. In the wind tunnel, we don't only simulate straight-line driving, but actually check every position the car will take on the track. We let the car yaw, pitch, and roll to simulate ambient conditions on the track, which we then improve accordingly. This is a really light car, but brimming with engineering technology. We tried to get weight out of the car wherever possible so as to convey the most agile, emotional, and precise drive behavior. Speaking of emotions, it's not only a matter of having a light car that feels precise and agile, but the engine plays a vital role too, being the heart of the vehicle. With the GT3, Legacy demands a high-revving aspirated engine with 9,000 revs, 510 horsepower, and 470 nanometers of torque to turn it into a first-grade fun machine. The difference between a Cup engine and a road engine here comes down to just 2 key components: the exhaust system and the engine control unit. The individual throttle butterflies come straight out of racing. Fitted into the street-legal car, they now provide a much better response behavior. Thus, the driver's commands are implemented instantly and more precise, which impressively underlines the very features of the naturally aspirated engine. The challenge of a high-revving engine comes with the masses that need to be accelerated and decelerated time and again. The smaller dimensions of the mass itself, the easier it is to arrange and design it. This engine really needs no sound engineering. The car sounds superbly, especially from the inside. All mechanical sounds are clearly audible, arranged and composed into a beautiful melody. The cockpit is very sporty and clean, with every function extremely intuitively understood by the driver. We offer 3 different modes: normal, sport, and track. Specific to the GT3 is the so-called track view. It compacts all the information I need on the track or during a sporty outing to the immediate field of vision ahead of the driver. We see oil pressure and oil temperature, tire pressures, and of course, the large central rev counter.
I think that's also the way he parks in front of a supermarket, right? So here he is, Andy. I think driving slowly is not an option for you, right?
Well, it hurts almost driving that car slowly, sorry.
That was slowly for you. Okay, I think that was a really good, let's say, sneak peek of what the GT3 is all about. We're going to talk about that later. But first of all, I want to know from a very personal perspective, what makes the GT3 special?
Well, Sarah, it has been a tough and challenging race in the last 3.5 years, and I'm happy to admit I'm quite keen on seeing the finishing line and the checkered flag ahead. This was the biggest, most complex and most demanding GT project so far, but what a machine. The results shows it. It was well worth the effort. This is the most extreme, most exciting GT3 that we have ever developed. And for that reason, it's a very special car for me and my team.
Yeah, and you said it already, this isn't just a car anymore. I think it's really a driving machine. But I have one question. Did you two race beforehand and the winner got to drive the car on the stage? Or no. So,
but
yeah,
it would be a good idea for the next time.
Next time.
But of course, Frank, you also drove it. So what was your first thought when you jumped into the car and drove it really the first time?
Well, that's always a very special moment if you get if you have a new variant, if you have a new GT3, and the engineering guys normally they say no, it's too early, but then you have to beg and ask them, can I drive? And this first impression of a car to get the feedback, if it's really a GT3, could we carry over all the DNA that we wanted that are necessary for a GT car also to a new platform? What is not so easy, looking at the boundaries of homologation and everything, and but. I had two thoughts when I finished the drive. One was, well, it happened. Everything is there, what we need for such a car. Very relaxed on that side. On the other hand, I said, well, that's still a hell of work to do until it's finished.
And he did a hell of work, and he finished it in a very, I think, awesome way. So thanks for now, Frank. We'll see you later in the Q&A session. And for those with an already higher pulse during that short presentation of the car, I think we can make your heartbeat even faster. Winding road and racetrack. That's where a GT3 really feels at home. So let's have a look at the new Porsche 911 GT3 in action. 30 seconds only, but I enjoyed each and every second of it. Andy, since we're talking here about high-performance sport cars, I mean, the people want to know what's under the hood.
Well, under the hood depends what luggage you're carrying, because we're referring to this part of the car as the hood. As the
thanks
front.
for that.
You want to know about the engine, right? What's beneath the rear wing? So, and I can tell you, it's a motorsport engine from the first degree. It's the same engine we use in the Cup car. It's 4-liter displacement, flat six, high revving, a fire-breathing, normally aspirated engine with all the tech from a race car engine, like individual throttle bodies, dry sump lubrication, titanium parts in the engine, a lightweight exhaust. This is, for me, the most emotional engine that's on the market anywhere today. It's so much fun. But it's not all that defines a GT3. It's a lot engine, but it's the rest also. And on that car, we have a complete new suspension, a double wishbone front axle for the first time. That's a revolutionary evolution, I would say. Bigger wheels, bigger brakes, wider rims, and that all on the 992 platform, and it's a little bit bigger, a little bit more competent, and it needed some lightweight trickery to keep the weight down, and that is dispersed all over the car. So all boxes ticked.
So did I miss the part where you said how much horsepower this car has? No,
this car has 510 horsepower, and that's a lot for a 1435 kilo car, and that's exactly the sweet spot we're aiming at for having a driver's car and the perfect track tool for the weekend.
And speaking of another very favorite topic of you, I mean, you're well known for putting your cars, let's say, on a diet. So how much did you train off at this one?
Well, that brings us back to the hood.
Finally.
It's made of carbon fiber, and we saved some kilos here. And underneath hidden is a super lightweight battery that brings the weight down even more. The rims are lighter than before. If you look at the glass throughout the car, there's super light, very thin glass. So we save about 5 kilos in comparison to the predecessor just on the glass. And if you're a freak for carbon fiber, you get a roof in carbon fiber as well. Puts down the car's weight another kilo, and the rear wing and the whole section on the rear is painted, but underneath, even where you can see the cross members, carbon fiber as well. Additionally, around the engine we found another 5 kilos, and it goes on and on and on. The end result is this car is about the same weight as the predecessor, but incorporating a lot more technology.
But you just talked about all the exterior components. So what is about the interior? Did you also tweak something here to reduce
We don't
weight?
stop at the interior. If you look closely, you'll find complete new ways of setting up the carpet in the car. It's complete new lightweight carpet. In comparison to the predecessor, it's about 3 or 4 kilos less. And that's quite substantial. We changed the seats a little bit more edgy, give a little bit more support to the shoulders. And look at that microfiber cloth here. It's a dual layer with this blue shining through. It's perforated. It looks very sophisticated with the stitching. We like it a lot because it mirrors the exterior so well.
So for the record, you started that topic. So let's dive into the girly talk, because I love that application here. It's the same color as the outside color. And I learned that this color is called shark blue. So who's the inventor of, I have to mention it again, shark blue?
Shark. I mean, the inventor of names is always our marketing department, and they were spot on with shark blue, I think, because shark, what a beautiful, powerful and elegant creature. I think it fits very well to the character of the GT3. But the color itself, I have to confess, I could contribute, and there's a little anecdote connected to that, because when I was on holiday, which is rarely, I was lying at the beach in August 27 in Sardinia, and this big, beautiful super yacht passed by, a 300 feet, very elegant super yacht, and it had this gleaming blue hull. I was on my feet taking my camera, said, that's exactly the color we need. And the rest is history. Here it is.
So this is what you do on your holidays, on your rally holidays.
Well.
And I think a lot of people out there, including myself, are very happy that this yacht wasn't orange or something like that. But speaking of design, let's go to this, well, I say, huge rear wing and to that massive diffuser down there. I think these aren't just design elements. This is a statement straight from the racetrack.
This is an absolute statement, but it's a functional statement. On a GT car, like on every Porsche, form follows function, but we think the form should look beautiful as well while it's functioning. And this is the new way of supporting a wing, a rear wing. If you turn around and look at the RSR race car, a swan neck spoiler, a swan neck wing, sorry, and it shows perfectly the technology transfer that we live with the GT cars, with the GT race cars and the G street cars. So technology transfers from the track to the road, and this is a perfect example. And what works on a race car and makes it fast, it's good for a street car as well, is it?
So it also depends now on the driver, but motorsport feeling is given here. Although the GT cars are inseparably connected to you, we have to mention there's a whole team behind these cars. And of course, a lot of more energy. So energy, technology, energy as well, but technology. So let's have a look directly into the development of GT cars.